The Sopranos is better than Breaking Bad.
What did you say, nigga?
Now wait, before you go on and throw that hate on me, let me tell you this. I love Breaking Bad. I really do. But The Sopranos, I love it a bit more.
Stay out of my territory.
Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of No Filter with Darshan. And today I'm gonna be talking about Tony Soprano and Walter White and why Tony Soprano makes The Sopranos better. In any TV show or movies, if the characters, if they don't feel real or human, we don't resonate with them, right? So this character, they need to feel more human, natural, and that's Tony Soprano. He feels more human. He don't look like he's following a clean character arc or set in a certain pre-decided way. Rather, he looks like us. He's confused, emotional, impulsive, and constantly fighting this never-ending battle between what's right and what's wrong. And that's pure human. One moment he's affectionate and lovable guy, and the other he's self-destructive, mean, and the most cynical person you will ever find.
Forget about the way that Tony Soprano makes his way in the world. That's just to feed his children. There's two Tony Sopranos. You've never seen the other one. That's
Just
the
like
one I
us,
wanna show.
Tony loves his family and he would do anything for them. But at the end of the day, he's the reason every relationship in his life falls apart. Now, take this instance for example. In the 5th season, where Janice invites Tony over for dinner, and Janice, she's looking happy, controlled, and calm as her anger management classes are finally working for her. But Tony, he just can't see her happy when his own life is miserable and shitty. So what he does, he brings up Janice's kid Harpo and starts mentioning about how she is not living with him and where her son might be living. And eventually Janice snaps and she starts chasing Tony around with a fork. And then Tony, he leaves with a wide smile on his face. Like a part of him is just satisfied and happy to see that his own sister hasn't changed at all. And that shows how mean, petty, insecure this person is. And that's pure human, because we admit it or not, we all carry some sort of these qualities in us, don't we? And now Walter, he's a bit different. Of course, he's genius, he's brilliant, but he's more plot driven than human driven. His actions are often derived from this one particular goal, to leave something behind for his family. And hence, whatever his moral conflicts are, they are all part of clean character arc, a good man turning bad. His actions look structured and intentional, and that's what pulls him deeper into this world. But Tony, he doesn't turn into anything. He is who he is. He was born into this world, he was brought up into this world, and no matter how hard he tries, he can never leave his own shadow behind, and that makes him pure human. We see all kinds of people around us. Some are happy, some are mean, some are cruel, and some are just complex. And Tony is one of them. He is so complex, so emotionally unstable and layered that his own therapist needed a therapy. And that's sick, right?
I suggest you drop the patient. I say refer this patient to a therapist that specializes in mafia depression.
Tony is so psychologically complex that he would often think about doing something good, being nice to his family, and not causing trouble at all. But in reality, he does exactly the opposite. Despite knowing that change is inevitable and he needs to change, he never changes a bit. Every time when he's in Dr. Melfi's session, he talks about his deep regrets, his fears, and how scared he can get sometimes. And that shows that deeply this man is gentle, fragile, someone who is afraid of dying, someone who is tired of these constant emotional battles, and we even love him for that. But in reality, we never see him being gentle to anyone. He's always dominating, being mean, and always fighting to be on top. We often see him talk about loyalty and what it means to him, when in fact, he is the biggest liar and cheater in the room. And Carmela, his wife, is the biggest victim of this all. Tony constantly cheats on her, and despite that, she loves him. She clears after his mess, she looks after him, and she even took care of him when he was in hospital for weeks. But what did Tony do? He still cheated on her, and he never had any guilt for it. And same goes with Christopher. When Christopher wanted to lead a different life and pursue his dream in Hollywood, he just wanted to leave this life behind and lead a clean and happy life. But it made Tony insecure and paranoid. He saw it as a sign of weakness and disloyalty to his mob family. So he started making fun of Christopher's career choices. He started teasing him around. He would even make fun of his sobriety and even offered him drugs so that he will have relapse. And all this because Christopher wanted to lead a happy life, a satisfied life, something which Tony only dreamed of and could never live. And that's a huge sign of emotionally damaged person, because these people, they could never see someone around them being happy, living a life they could only dream of. So what they do, they sabotage others' life. They make others' lives vulnerable so that they would feel that satisfaction and peace. Now Walter White, he too is complex and layered character. From being gentle, simple, and ordinary professor, we saw him turn into a notorious cartel boss. With Walter, we witnessed these two distinct personalities. Walter, a guy who is insecure, scared, and lovable family guy who just wants to be around his family. And then we see Heisenberg, someone who is careless, heartless, furious, and a pure business-minded cartel boss. Heisenberg is someone who would do anything for money, even if it means losing his family at the end. Walter had two sides, a loving family guy and a kingpin. But Tony doesn't have any of that. He doesn't even understand his own mind. And that's why I think Tony is the greatest psychologically complex character ever written.
All right, fine. Fine. Here you go. Because this is what it's all about, right? Motherfucking cock-sucking money. Here.
Family plays a huge role in shaping who we become. And in both Walter and Tony's cases, childhood trauma played a huge role, but in different ways. Both lost their fathers at an early age, right? But Tony's childhood trauma ran deeper. He was born into a family filled with fear, chaos, and emotional manipulation, especially his mother, Livia. She never comforted him, she hated him, she beat him, and no matter how hard Tony tried, he could never win her trust. And that made him desperate to be seen, desperate to be in control of every chaos around him, because as a child, he could never control anything.
The street. It's another pain in the ass.
And then there's Janice, just like her mother, unpredictable, dramatic, running away from responsibilities, leaving Tony behind to clean after her mess, both emotionally and practically. And the worst part, nobody ever appreciated him, especially his mother. And that's the pain that doesn't just stay in your childhood, it grows with you. It turns you in someone insecure, jealous, someone who wants to feel powerful, who wants to be in charge. And for that, he would do anything, even if it means destroying the ones you love the most. And that's the Tony we saw. But Walter White, it's a different case for him. Yes, he did lost his father at an early age. His mother was a bit hard to please, but despite all that, he wasn't traumatized by his childhood. And still, he pursued his dream, he got his PhD, and he even built a normal life. Walter's downfall didn't come from his childhood. It came much later when he was diagnosed with cancer. Cancer forced him to face the things he had been running away from. Tony was built by traumas, but Walter White or Heisenberg was built by circumstances. And that's a huge difference.
I am the way your son don't need a gun to get me.
That's why I love Tony Soprano. He's more complex, more human, and more layered character. And I think these are the characteristics and these are the things that makes The Sopranos better than Breaking Bad. And if you still don't believe me, hear it from the man himself, the man who
I think
played Walter White.
what they were able to, David Chase was able to do in creating a character like Tony Soprano was certainly paving the way to allow the space for someone like Walter White to exist.
So that's it for today, guys. What are your thoughts on The Sopranos and Breaking Bad? Drop them in the comments so we can continue our discussion there. And if you don't know me, this is Darshan, and here on this channel, I talk about movies, TV shows, and everything that gets me interested. Just kidding. So if you haven't yet, please do subscribe, leave a like, and share this video with your friends so that we can build our own little film community. Until next time, stay happy and curious.
What happened to Gary Cooper? The strong, silent type. He wasn't in touch with his feelings. He just did what he had to do. I had to